This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Medallion Resources, Mr. Mark Saxon. Mark, how are you today?
Gerardo, good afternoon. Great to talk to you. I'm doing well. Still in Australia here. Nowhere to travel to, but doing fine and getting work done. Almost every day. So doing well.
Boy, it sounds like you're being productive. You know, the rare earth space tends to be obviously very cyclical when it comes to news flow. All of a sudden, there's a lot happening, and then all of a sudden, it tends to get quiet for a month or two. I think we've had a bit of a quiet period, though. There's been some material events that have happened behind the scenes that I think haven't been noticed by the market. Medallion has been busy, of course. You mentioned working every day and being productive. The most recent piece of news came yesterday where you completed diagnostic testing with the Australian Nuclear Science and Technology Organization. It's always a mouthful for the rare earth company headlines. Can you give us the context, Mark?
No, I like that introduction, Gerardo, and absolutely. Rare earths comes and goes, I guess, in the media sometimes, and sometimes you see a headline every day or multiple a day, and then sometimes it disappears. And we're going through one of those little quiet patches, but that's a good thing. It's an industry that we want to be growing in the background, and prices are increasing globally, and the market as a whole is doing a good job, so we're pleased with that. And I guess with Medallion specifically, absolutely, we're continuing to work in the background and getting our work done. And I guess the recent press release is particularly about a bit of a transition we've made to be using, as you said, ANSTO, the Australian government organisation, to do some of our test work here in Australia. And I guess the reasoning behind that was ANSTO is an absolute acknowledged world leader in the rare earth industry. They've been very, very instrumental in all the major projects here in Australia and around the world developing the flow sheets. And I guess combined with that, Australia has abundant resources of mineral sands, and that's where Medallion's going to be drawing their Monozyte from. So really, it's the perfect kind of association for us to be working with the people who really know their stuff and have demonstrated that through the work they've done at Linus Corp and really making things happen.
Excellent. So walk me through next steps. What does that look like as far as relevance to Medallion and to shareholders? It's obviously a step in a multi-step dance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And these are long pathways, and rare earths in particular is a long pathway in the mining industry. And the Medallion approach is to shorten that path as much as we can by using the byproduct mineral, which is monazite. So I guess the work that we've just completed and we've just PR'd on is what we're calling diagnostic testing. And so really what we're doing with that work is, let's call it characterization, I guess, as well. We take a commercial or a pre-commercial sample of monazite from a mineral sand mine, and we collect from that small sample a set of sort of characterization data. So that's about its minerals and its metals and some other key features. We then run that sample through our process, and then we acquire data again, and we're then able to connect between the sample as it came directly to us and that set of data and the way it processed. And so that is allowing us to build up, I guess, what we're calling a matrix of information. And so it means we then don't need to do that second test. We can just look at the original data and say, all right, on the basis of this set of information, we know exactly what it's going to cost us, how it's going to process the chemicals that are needed, the energy, and the value of the product at the back end. And so that first set of data, the diagnostic data, we can acquire that now at almost any lab around the world, really, that's happy to accept a monazite sample. They send us the data, and then we're able to know whether that's a positive partner for us and really how we want to work with that sample. So we're kind of skipping a few steps in the process, and so that will allow us in the future to make sort of much more nimble decisions and to know who we need to be talking to and which materials we want to be targeting in the market. And we can really accelerate that process.
And again, just for people that may be new to the Medallion story, can you explain the benefits and why the focus of monazite?
Yeah, absolutely. And so monazite is a mineral, and that mineral is a very high-grade mineral in rare earths. It's a very dense and heavy mineral, and so that means it gets concentrated in mineral sands the same as other heavy minerals do. So operating around the world today, in Australia, South Africa, Madagascar, Mozambique, Sri Lanka, many places, are heavy mineral sand mines that were built to extract titanium minerals and zirconium minerals. So they are also heavy minerals. In that process, when those titanium and zirconium minerals are extracted, the monazite, the rare earth mineral, hasn't really had a market, so it's been left on the mine site. In some cases, it's been sold to Chinese customers. So Medallion is targeting use of that mineral sand monazite, which is already being mined and handled and concentrated today without having a market. So we take that mineral sand monazite and we process that and extract the rare earths. So it's a very good mineral to be using because it's very high grade. So it's about 60% total rare earths in the mineral itself, which is extremely high. It has a very high content of neodymium and praseodymium, which are the magnet metals, and so that's a great benefit and puts up its value. And I guess the other beautiful thing, which is rarely talked about, is that it's really homogeneous. And so whether we buy from Australia, Victoria, or from New South Wales, or from Western Australia, or from South Africa, or from India, or wherever else we get it from, it's almost identical. And so with this little bit of diagnostic testing, we're able to sort of, work out exactly where it fits on the matrix and know exactly how to process it. But wherever the material comes from in the world, we're able to process it. And that's a really unusual and rare thing in rare earths. And as you know, rare earth processing is incredibly difficult, incredibly lengthy, and most projects fail because of complexity. And this is a way of reducing some of that complexity in the process line.
Excellent summary. What's next, Mark?
Thanks, Judd. I'm not sure that was a summary, but it was a long answer to the summary. But we're continuing on that front. And I guess in the press release we had out this week, we also mentioned the techno-economic study. And so the techno-economic study is ongoing for us, and that really is the independent pull together of all of the data that we've acquired to date, and to produce a sort of an operating engineering model and financial model, to show us the value of the process. We had hoped that was going to be finished by the end of Q1. It's been pushed back a little, just people in the wrong places with COVID and things, that everything's taken a little bit longer. So, we acknowledge the good work of the consultants, but not much we can do about that at the moment. So that's getting very close now. And in combination with that techno-economic analysis, we're also doing a life cycle assessment, and so that will also measure the carbon footprint of the production of rare earths using mineral sand monazite. Because we're not connected to a mine, because we're not operating in a remote location, because we've got a very, very efficient process that we've designed, we're certainly of the opinion that our environmental footprint from this will be extremely small and will be the most environmentally friendly way of producing rare earth metals. And certainly, our vision is to produce, is to set up process hubs, I guess you would call them, where we aggregate the mineral sand monazite from regions. So we're not going to be transporting mineral sands across the world, and because that just builds up the CO2 footprint. We'll be operating locally, employing people locally, and adding value to materials locally. I think that's the very best business model from a economic point of view, and from a life cycle and CO2 point of view as well.
It almost sounds like the franchise model, right, for Monozyte sands and production of the byproduct.
Yeah, it kind of is, and certainly the work we're doing, both on the rare earth extraction from the mineral sand monazite, and also from the separation process. We're kind of viewing it as a bit of a plug and play process. So all of our engineering and design is simplified. It reuses chemicals, it reuses heat. It's highly optimized, and so it can be operating at a fairly modest scale, or it can be rolled out at a larger scale, depending on what the market requires and depending on the volume of mineral sand monazite in a certain location. And that's obviously very attractive to governments and to regions who want to see value captured in their own region. They don't want to be sending off a low value concentrate to the other side of the world. They want to be capturing some of that value from the rare earths themselves, but also the opportunity for downstream value add. So every region we talk to has that same point of view that, how do we get a foot in the door in the EV industry? How do we acquire the critical materials that are essential for that? And this is absolutely part of that.
Fantastic, Mark. I'm looking forward to the results from the study. I know there's other things in the works that you'd rather wait to touch on. I think this was an excellent update. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think that's great, Gerardo. And yeah, let's stay in touch, and I'll keep you informed on our progress as it comes along.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Mark.
Thanks, Gerardo. Cheers.
Bye now.